Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. If you didn't notice, I've been starting to upload videos with more frequency, and a lot of people don't get notified, so check my channel once a day, and if you haven't seen yesterday's video regarding the UFO footage around the sun and other things, go and check that out. But for today's video, I want to talk about one topic, and it's a recent news story that came out on a website called thedrive.com, which is like a sister website, but it's mainly a website for aviators, people who are in the Air Force, all things aeronautics, jets, planes, and they do really good news stories, especially when it comes to UFOs interacting with pilots or planes or any aircraft for that matter. And they posted this story called Pilot Video and FAA Interview Reveal Bizarre Encounter with Unidentified Aircraft Over Atlantic City. An aircraft pilot flying a private plane seemed baffled after a strange-looking aircraft mirrored his maneuvers. Now, this is a strange one, and we're going to analyze this and wait until the end of the video before you make up your mind on just what this UFO was. And so it starts out, quote, "In recent years, the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, has seen a significant rise in quote-unquote drone incidents." And to the viewers out there, you're going to hear that word a lot in this article. And it would seem that the new word, the new code word, should we say, for UFOs, even though UFO really doesn't need a code word. It's self-explanatory. It's unidentified flying object. But the new code word, because of the stigma attached to the word UFO they are using now, seems to be the word drone. And so you will hear a lot of that in this from the writer and from the pilot. And if you've watched my past videos where pilots have contacted me, they are instructed to never talk about UFOs when seeing them in flight, whether they are piloting a commercial flight to a helicopter pilot or a hypersonic jet. You are told to keep quiet about UFO sightings, try to say nothing on the radio, but then make a report quietly and behind closed doors after your encounter, so it never sees the light of day. So to the main video of what the pilot saw of a very strange looking object that the pilot said seemed to be tracking and flying along with him, mimicking him, moving at great speeds and doing maneuvers. Okay, so we'll continue the article. It reads, quote, "While many of the reports of these encounters with pilots are highly concerning, some are outright strange. In one of the more peculiar reports, a pilot flying a Diamond DA-40 light aircraft described a highly unusual object mirroring his aircraft's maneuvers while flying at more than 2,000 feet above Atlantic City, New Jersey. We have received video, audio, and documents regarding the incident via the Freedom of Information Act. An account of the incident was originally filed via the FAA's mandatory occurrence report. By FAA regulations, MORs must be generated whenever a pilot reports unauthorized or otherwise unsafe unmanned aerial system activity, or UAS. So they're already kind of pushing the drone narrative. Both the behavior and reported altitude of the object likely prompted the report. The FAA requires drone operators to fly below 400 feet and to not interfere with manned aircraft operations. This particular MOR, or Mandatory Occurrence Report, caught the Drive.com's attention because it described dynamic maneuvering on the part of the UAS, or drone as we will call it from now on, as well as an unusual description of a large camera-like object hanging from the UFO along with a large V-shaped antenna or structure on top of it. The article says we have redacted the pilot's personal information as a courtesy, so you can go to the website and check this out. And they actually have a recording of the pilot giving an interview, which basically I've already summarized. And before we go any further and analyze closely this very peculiar and and strange-looking UFO, I want to give a special thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Private Internet Access, which is a VPN that allows you to access the internet and browse the web with your true IP address and location hidden from prying eyes. VPNs are widely used tools, especially in this day and age, and with Private Internet Access, which is available across all platforms from Apple to PC to Android, whether it be desktop, tablet, or phone, you simply download the app, log in, choose an international country from their list of servers or another state, here if you're in the US. An example here, I'm logging in and I'm choosing to connect to a server in Texas, and once back online, you can now see that as far as anyone online knows, I'm now browsing the web from Texas even though I'm here in Ohio. Private Internet Access is better than the other VPNs because they have a strict no logs policy of your online activity. With Private Internet Access, you can also connect to a different server when your own internet service provider throttles down your internet speed, which is great for gaming. There are countless uses for a VPN, which you can find online, and with over 30 million downloads worldwide, Private Internet Access is hands down the best VPN that gives you protection, privacy, and peace of mind. I use it myself, especially with the work I do, and if you want to try it and finally have peace of mind on the web by hiding your IP address and home location, then simply click the custom link down in the video description where you can download the app for 83% off the actual price, which comes out to $1.98 per month, and you'll also get the first 4 months free. So for just under $2 a month, you can protect your online location and identity and access a range of amazing features like watching one of your favorite shows on Netflix that may be blocked in your own country, but with Private Internet Access and the click of a button, you connect to a different part of the world and are now able to stream the content that you weren't able to do before. So try Private Internet Access today with the special link down below and get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can't beat that. Keep intruders from intercepting your information as well as staying truly anonymous while browsing the web. So protect yourself today. Okay, so when this UFO, aka drone, aka unmanned aerial vehicle interaction occurred, the pilot recounted initially thinking that the object was a set of balloons. Puzzled by it, he slowed down to get a better look. He described how the object climbed along with him and seemed to intentionally stay opposite his aircraft, mirroring his turn. Throughout the conversation, the pilot makes several references to a video taken by a passenger, though he cautions that the video is limited in detail. Asked for a basic description of the UFO, the pilot indicated that while he was familiar with drones, it was hard to concretely identify what he saw. You know, this is a pilot. A pilot knows a drone from something that's just not a drone. And this pilot had a tough time identifying what he saw and what was in this recording. He mentions the strange V-shaped antenna and a payload of sorts hanging off the bottom of the object. The pilot describes the payload as potentially being an articulating camera. Adding to the physical description, he indicated that it did not appear to be a fixed-wing aircraft. In terms of the behavior of the UFO, the pilot remarked how effectively the object circled him, speculating that it was likely trying to get a, quote, cool video of him. He remarks that while it might be a cool video, it was super dangerous. And so the article goes on and it shows the report, and basically that it is unclear, of course, if the FAA ever made a determination of what the object was. Other unusual incidents have been recorded within this busy coastal airspace, such as the 2018 case of a bright object spotted by a different aircrew over Long Island. So you've been seeing these enhanced images here, and when I went over to the actual YouTube video, which at the time had 91,000 views, the comments pretty much showed just how strange this UFO was, in that no one really could identify it and everyone had their own answer as to what this thing could have been. One user stated, "Looks like a paraglider, but it's moving fast." Another said, "Could it be a drone carrying a kind of package for delivery?" Scott T said, "Purposely low quality, just like the fake moon landings." Oh boy, people are starting to think the moon landings were fake again. I swear, I already debunked this. I was one of you guys, but then I actually looked into it. We went to the moon. But I digress. Other comments here from people saying it looked like a camera lens smudge, to swamp gas, to a nothing burger, to it's a piece of plastic trash, mystery solved, to just straight up question marks. And so I went to Google to look up one of the most used answers in the YouTube comments, which is that it could have been a paraglider, which would give us the sort of object with something hanging from it. And as I looked at these on Google, a lot of them are extremely colorful. They're very wide. There are some V-shaped ones, because remember in the article, he said it kind of had a V shape with something dangling down below. And as you look at these, note exactly how they look. They have very discernible shapes, from the wings or parachute down to the human being sitting in a chair with a giant circular fan behind it. And when I go back and look at this UFO in this video, it just doesn't look like either of these. It doesn't look like a parachute or a V-shaped glider. This thing seems to have way more length vertical wise to it. It's much longer in its height from top to bottom, and I don't see anything like a large parachute or a V-shaped glider, and I don't see a person. Looking at the still image used by the website, where they took a still image of the best shot they could, you know, after looking at it as you guys are and adding some contrast and just trying to bring out the detail, does that look like a hang glider to you or a paraglider? It doesn't look like a bag of trash, and remember, the pilot said this thing was mirroring his aircraft and doing it at an amazing speed. So, yeah guys, I'm stumped on this one, and from looking at the image, that doesn't look like any drone I've ever seen. And the pilot, it's funny, he even makes a note in the article when being interviewed by saying that it was very interesting, and I guess it was a UFO, but unfortunately it wasn't anything of an alien nature, which I thought was strange for him to just add into the article and to his interview. Like they were just trying to really push home that it was just a drone and let's just forget about it. So anyway, guys, tell me what you think. There have been a lot of strange things in this area. I'll put the link down below. Thank you for stopping by and watching today's video. Please leave a like and a comment and share this video. That way YouTube will share more of my videos and we can be picked up by more news outlets like we just were for my past couple of videos. And in fact, really cool was that after I told you guys about how my last video was one of the top news stories on Google, a Twitter viewer from the UK sent me a photo of this newspaper clipping, an actual printed newspaper in the UK, again featuring Secureteam 10 regarding my recent moon base video with the square white structure found on Google Moon at the top of that hill. And it's just hilarious that they named the article Walmart on the Moon. So, you know what? We're being picked up. Secureteam is back. You guys stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll see you with much more in just a bit.